Hi everybody and welcome to this advanced level Mummy and Me Pilates class, a postnatal Pilates class that is designed for those of you that are a little bit further on in your postnatal journey, just making sure that you don't have any continued issues or concerns about your abdominal gap. Today we are going to be doing a 20-minute, fairly fast-paced class working around the ball. If you do not have a ball, don't panic. What you could use instead, certainly for some of the leg work, is a block. The block will not be going behind your back, but you can certainly work with it for the legs and you can work with it in the arms as well. If you have a ball, great. If you don't, then when we come down and onto the floor, you can do all of the exercises flat down to the mat. Let's get ourselves started. So we're going to bring ourselves into position here. Straight off, we're going to pop the ball between the knees. So any time that we work with the ball between the knees, or even the block, or the ball or the block between the hands, just gives us that little bit extra in terms of engagement. It's not like a really strong engagement, certainly working into the arms. It's not really, really powerful, but like doing 15 press-ups. It's about just finding that little bit extra, or that little bit extra in between the legs. Can you see that? That's where I'm going. Okay, so we're setting ourselves into position. We're going to warm up the core and work into the back, those C curves into the spine. Find your sitting bones, feet flat to the floor. Draw your belly button in, arms out. Take a gentle squeeze on the ball so that we've got that activation into the legs. Scoop into the belly button, tilt to the pelvis. Let's take ourselves to our C curves. So we are warming up, guys. So we're not taking this all the way down to the floor just yet. So even though this is going to be slightly faster paced, we have to warm ourselves up and we still have to be really mindful about working carefully with control. Okay, tucking into those tummy muscles. So there it is, that belly button drawing back. And I'm going to take an extra squeeze as we do that. And squeeze and back up. Tucking it back. Okay, ready for some advancements here? Stop, extend, bring back and into place, and stop, extend, bring back, sitting tall, and again, tuck, back, extend, and again, tuck, back, extend. Make sure those tummy muscles are still drawing through, and we've got that squeeze on the ball here. Tuck, extend, bring back. One more time, we're going to sit it back, stop, take those arms up, stop, squeeze the ball, hold, draw the belly button in, strong for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sitting up tall. Just release this off a little bit. Little tip. If you're finding this is getting a little uncomfortable on your back, you can also take the ball out between the knees, put it behind your back and give yourself a little bit of support there. Just make sure that if you do that, what you don't do is end up arching over. Still keeping that C curve, okay? Always still keeping that C curve. A pillow or a cushion would do a nice job there as well. All right, just adding on to this a little bit more. So still continuing with the C curve and with the core. We are taking ourselves here. Give me a little bit more squeeze now on that ball. Activate the knees, inner thighs, pelvic floor, into the backs of the glutes a little bit as well. All right, scooping back, tuck, 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 tuck. We're opening both arms. We're bringing them back. Sitting up tall, and again, scoop back, open out both arms, and back. I want more squeeze on the ball, okay? Squeeze as we open, draw the belly button back, and open. We're going to do 3 more. Squeeze, open, and open. One more time. Open, sit tall. Now you're going to take the ball or the block. If you're working with a block, you could be working like this and you can do the same thing with the block here. We're going to use the ball and or the block to guide our arms round into a chest opening. So we're going to sit back with the ball in between the hands like this. So you're going to work those arms, a little bit of squeeze into the arms, tuck it back, tuck it back, tuck it back. Now you can encourage that a little bit further. Just make sure you're still working with the C curve and those belly buttons are pulling down. All right, we're holding here. We're taking the ball or the block in one hand, opening out, following around with the eye line, and coming back to centre. And same to the other side, following around with the eye line, and back to centre. And again, opening. So taking a little bit more work into the oblique muscles now, those muscles at the side of the abdominal group. Sitting back. If you need to keep coming up, come back up. But if you're with me and you're happy to stay here, we're going to do 2 more to each side. Open out, follow your eye line with the ball. And open. And one more time each side. Open, tucking tummies in, open, back up tall. Whew, and just take a little stretch out. Give your back a little bit of a stretch. If you want to have a little hug here, you can do. When you're ready, we're going to extend those legs out and in front, and we're going to come to the roll up now. So your back should be ready for this. Your core should be ready for this with the little warm-ups we've done. If they're not, don't worry. And if you actually just struggle with this exercise, full stop, then you can work into a half. And I think I've mentioned before, this is my nemesis exercise. I find this exercise really challenging. It is hard for me to get up and down from the floor without flinging my legs up and without flinging my arms. So listen to your bodies, do what's right for you. If you can't quite do it without fling, work to a half. This is your half. Squeeze the ball, squeeze the ball, squeeze the ball, squeeze the ball, or use the block. And taking yourself to a half roll is enough, ladies. It's enough. And then you sit up and you stretch forward. If you want the full roll, keep those arms super engaged. Keep that squeeze. We are squeezing on the ball. Not just holding the ball, but squeezing the ball so that those arms get a nice little bit of work as well. And we're coming up and down. So just taking time, tune into your body. Notice, are you flinging yourself up? If you are, you're getting nothing from this exercise, okay? You're good, and actually potentially you could hurt your backs. So slow it down, make sure you are drawing the belly button in, and you're coming up with strength in the core. And again, if you notice that as you come up, you have to bring your legs up off the floor, stop. Try and glue those legs to the mat. Or as I said before, we work into a half roll, squeezing onto the ball. That's your half roll there, okay? So it's a sit back, but with your legs in extension, and you take it back as far as you can in control. So your half roll or your full. Keep it going. Let's do 2 more. Up, stretching it forward, and again. And again. And now this time, slight alternative challenge. And again, as I said, I find this a bit difficult, so why am I demonstrating it? I don't know, but let's give it a go. So anytime we work with the ball like this, we are creating instability and wobble, and we want to work against it, so we have to work a little harder into our muscles. You could put a block underneath the foot as well. So you're going to try and keep the backs of the ankles and feet connected to the ball or the block as we take ourselves to our roll down again. Okay, so watch those legs now. It's gonna get a little bit more challenging. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. And again, of course, you can continue to work into that half roll. So it is just a slightly different challenge here. And as I said, I find this really quite hard work. Let's try 2 more so that I don't embarrass myself on the mat by not being able to get back up. We'll take 1 more time. Coming back up to sitting when you're ready. Here we go. Oh, you didn't see my foot there, did you? No, okay. Taking those feet out, little bit of a V, turn the toes up, your ball is in place. If your block is there, you can push forward on the block, or you can just walk your fingers out. We're taking a little stretch. Turn those toes back, soften the knees. Draw the belly button in and lengthen into your spine as we reach forward, using the ball just to encourage a little bit more length into the body. Stopping and holding here for 10, 9, 8. Breathe for me, ladies. Okay, when you're ready, coming on up, bringing that ball back between the knees, shuffling yourself to the front of the mat. 3 levels of sit backs with leg pulses as we come back, okay? So we're taking ourselves, so don't come back too far to start with, then we're coming to the mat. We're going to tuck and tilt, sitting back here, arms are lengthening. Now give me 10 pulses on the ball. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, tuck, 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 come back a little further. Release your shoulders. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And 1 more time, just see if you can encourage that back a little bit further. Find your point of challenge and control, and squeeze the ball. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop, bringing yourselves down. Set yourself into position. We're going into our shoulder bridge. But we do need to make time to just set the spines properly, okay? So we're working a little quicker, but we don't want to miss these key things to make sure we continue to work safely. So setting your spine to the floor, each vertebrae finding its little pocket on the mat so that we've got lovely spinal alignment and imprint.
Working with the ball gives us more for the inner thighs, gives us the opportunity to focus into the pelvic floor. So let's draw the pelvic floor in. Don't over squeeze the bum cheeks too much for more work into the pelvic floor. Okay, belly button's drawing down. Let's take those arms up and over straight away, lifting to bridge, rolling back down, keep the squeeze, and let's go again. Roll up and back. And again. So we may be working a little faster than we normally do, but you don't lose that placement. We don't lose the thought of the vertebrae working one by one by one by one. So keep that lovely curve going in the spine. And we're going to do 2 more up. Make sure your big toes are pushing to the floor. Don't lose the connection of all the feet. And one more time. And as you bring that back down, you're going to really focus on setting the spine down. I'm tucking in so that you can see this. Really focus on bringing the back down and into the mat as we come into our 100 with a squeeze on the ball or the block, whatever you want to do here. Okay, so keeping that squeeze into the inner thighs, into the pelvic floor. Legs are in place. Draw your belly buttons down. Lift the head and shoulders if you want it. It's more powerful, so you don't need to do it if you don't want to. We are breathing in 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and again. And out. And again. And out. Give me 3 more breaths. In breath for 5. Remember, rest your head down if you wanted to. You can even put a block there. If you're not working with the ball here, you can put the ball there. And we're going to do 1 more breath. In 2, 3, 4, and 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently, 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 gently set the feet down. Don't let the back lift. Taking the ball out. Now, we're going to go up and onto the ball. It's a little bit of a Marmite situation here. Some people love working on the ball. Some people hate it. If you hate it, don't persevere with it, because if it's not giving you pleasure, if you're not getting a lot out of it, just take the ball, chuck it away, and work with your backs flat to the floor. I would not place a block behind your back here. It's going to be too uncomfortable. You're not going to be able to get the right placements, okay? So either flat down to the floor or with a ball, or you could tuck a little cushion underneath your bottom if you wanted to. In terms of getting up and onto the ball, we lift the spine as if we were going into a bridge. And then it's a very personal sort of choice here where you put it. For me, it's about having it underneath. So think about where your coccyx is, so your tailbone. I like to have my tailbone sort of sat in the middle of the ball so that I've got a little bulge underneath my bum. But for some people, you may prefer the support further up the back. Take time, okay? If you are feeling wobbly, pause me and come back to me. Take time to find where works for you and then come up and into the exercises, okay? So I'm going to place myself here. Watch my back. I am not arching over the ball. I am lengthening and tilting my pelvis slightly. So trying to push my back to the floor, but obviously can't do that with the ball there. Okay, so we're in place. The tummy is strong. The backs of the arms are coming for a little bit of support. And we're bringing our legs back up and into that 100 placement. Notice the wobble. That's what we're working against, okay? Now, if you do feel particularly wobbly, you can take some air out. You can move the ball around. Take time, like I said. Pause me, take some time, and find out where works for you. Turning your feet to flexion for me, guys. We are going to some 100 variations on the ball here. We are going to send one leg out, and then we're going to bring it back. Tuck the tummy muscles in. Notice that wobble. Notice your body wanting to shake about on the ball. Okay. If you're not working with the ball, you can do this flat to the floor. It's just about coming back into that 100 placement. And we push and come back. Tuck those tummy muscles in and breathe. Always hard in Pilates, even harder when we're working a little quicker. So let's breathe in and out and in and out. 2 more each side. 1, there it is. And 2. And again, here and here. And hold this position because we're going to go straight into our double. Obviously, if you need to rest, you rest, you come on down, don't continue. If you need a break, take a break and double. Look where my legs are coming back to. They are coming back to the 100. They are not tucking into my chest. And here, and we're pushing away with the heels and turning those toes back. So we've got extra energy running through the legs. Tuck and push. Belly, pulls down, tuck and push. And again, 3 more. And 2 and 1. Now, keep those legs there. Bring your legs together. Let's try a little bit of leg sweep here. And sweep back out to that placement, no further than that. As soon as you feel those tummy muscles starting to push up to the ceiling, you don't drop quite so far, and just notice whether your back is starting to arch over the ball. And we are sweeping and coming back. Squeeze the legs together. Let's get a little bit of energy going there, maybe a little bit more into the bum cheeks. And sweep. Little lift if you want it, but if you find that the ball just rolls out of place, then don't do it. And sweep. And up. Sweep. Scoop those belly buttons in. We're going to do 2 more. Here we go. 1 and 2. And then as those legs come up and in towards the body, feel free, guys, of course, to take some time out at any point. But let's continue here with some scissors and some scissors and some scissors. Your scissors don't need to be as big as this. They could be more up to the ceiling like this. Okay, that would be absolutely fine. But if you've got a little bit more flexibility or you want to challenge yourself a bit, here we go. Let's see if we can try and keep those legs as straight as possible. I know that's not necessarily possible depending on sort of tightness in the backs of those hamstrings, but just thinking about lengthening through to the toes. Head and shoulders rested. We always keep our head and shoulders down when we work on the ball, otherwise we would just fall off. Use the backs of the hands for some support, and we kick and scissor and scissor. And keep breathing, everybody. Just find your own breathing pattern here. And let's try a couple more in each direction. 1 and 1 and 2 and 2, and hold those legs up. We are taking it into our bicycle now. So we're going to tuck one knee in, extend the other leg out, and change. It's a continuous movement, okay? And what we're trying not to do is this. We're not free rolling off on a bike down the hill. Slow, steady, controlled movements, working a little harder to bring your knee into the chest here. Can you see that tuck? My leg is stretching out and away, almost drawing a line on the mat with your big toe, almost, okay? Tuck in, see if you can make it a little bit bigger. And then let's see if we can slow it down a bit. Here, 1 and 1 and 2 and 2, tucking those tummy muscles in, noticing the wobble on the ball. And then we're going to slow it right down. Okay, slow motion here, slow. So there's still movement, still continuous movement, but we have slowed it down. Every time we slow something down, it becomes more powerful for all of our muscles, okay? So scoop those belly buttons in, breathe. See if you can make that bigger. And cycle. And cycle. Okay, from here we're going to transition to a very similar but different exercise, which is the single leg stretch. On the ball, finding that point where you're in control, tucking those knees in, stretching those legs away, tuck and stretch. Again, don't rush this. Don't start to kick through this. Slow and steady. Breath in, breath out, and in and out. 2 more each side, then we're going to have a little freezing moment. Okay, so when you're ready, let's bring one leg into the chest and the other leg is going to extend, and you're going to stop. Now notice, just holding yourself in position here, you'll notice your body wobbling upside a little bit, so scoop your belly button down, hold yourself steady. Let's get those knees closer to the chest and holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop and swap, slow and steady. Knee into the chest, draw the belly button down, stretch the leg away, and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Again, tuck, 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 tuck those tummies, knees in, draw belly button down, and 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1, and again, and stretch, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Have you got one more in you each side? Here we go, tuck it in, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and again, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Both knees to the chest. Let's just take a couple of double leg stretches here. The knees are tucked. Then we extend. tuck and stretch and tuck and stretch. Keep those backs long. Don't let those backs arch over the ball. You're going to feel this anytime we extend our legs out and away, whether we're on the ball, whether we have some support behind our back, whatever we're doing, this is challenging. So we're going to keep those tummies drawn down, and we're going to do 3 more. 3 and 2 and 1 and hug. Keep those knees in. So you can take a little hug here as long as you feel balanced to do that. Sort of a little bounce up and down on the ball. And then when you're ready, we're going to set our feet back down nice and gently. We're going to finish with some bridges with the ball behind the back. What feels really nice, or what I like about doing these bridges, is that when you come down, you have that sense of anticipation of where you're going to meet the ball, and then you can kind of let your body just go, just sink and have that moment of being held by the ball. Okay, so come with me if you want to. We've got space between the knees, the feet are in line. Draw the belly still, we're still working into the core. Push strong into those legs. Lift your backs, lift your backs, lift your backs. Can you clear space between your back and the ball? And then keeping that curve in the spine, so still working through the vertebrae, we're going to come down, and as your back comes to the wall, you're just going to let it go. And then back again, up. And then let it release. And we can do 2 more like this. And roll back down. You might notice that the ball is moving slightly. And down. Okay. When you're ready, we're just going to take one more small lift and take the ball out and let the back come into the mat here. Hug your knees. It might feel a bit weird. You come back down flat to the floor. It feels a little bit odd having been up on that ball for a while. We're going to rock ourselves out. And very, very gently take ourselves over and onto the side now. Bring ourselves up to sitting. Coming into a cross-leg position. If you're comfortable there, we're just going to stop for a stretch forward. So just bring your fingertips out in front of you and take a nice stretch forward. Take a release into your neckline and breathe. Give me 3 big deep breaths to finish here. And as you scoop your belly button in to come back up to sitting, you're going to bring the palms of the hands together. Slide your fingertips up to the ceiling. Take your eye line there as well. Lift your body high. Give me 2 more breaths in. And again, in and out. And bringing the hands to the chest. Taking a little bow to your work today on the ball. Lovely work, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the slightly faster pace of that class. But as I said, as I continue to say throughout the class, it's important that you still work very carefully. Make sure you've got your placement going on. Make sure you're drawing your belly buttons down. When in doubt, pause me, rewind me, check that you're doing it right, give yourselves the time to set yourself into position, and then off you go. Thank you so much again for coming and joining me. I hope to see you all very, very soon again on your mats. Take care, everyone. Bye.